Sean Connery's dead. Alright, mage, you're next. Nowhere to run. You better hope these rocks work. This is just like that Witcher cutscene. I'm sorry, Scarlet. Ooh, he almost had me there. Yikes, that damage. Whew. And the finish. GG. Woo! That's gonna smart. Unfortunately, I know exactly how to dodge that princess. Time for you to join your friend. You're trying to sneak around. You're like, oh, the invader will never find me if I sneak like this. Yeah, except I found you. So what's the plan now? What's the plan now, Scarlet? What's the plan now, Sean Connery? Is that actually a stunlock? Well, Sean Connery is dead. GG. For the build, you only need Bestial Sling and Hone Bolt. It makes a great combo, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Bestial Sling is a nice little short-range, stagger, and small damage spell, but it comes out really fast, and it's very safe because you can immediately roll after using it. You can also spam it multiple times, which is really, really cool. GG. Now, Hone Bolt has a really long cast animation, but it can project some really fast lightning on someone at pretty good range, and it does solid damage, more damage than Bestial Sling. But you can actually combine the two together to get rid of the starting cast of the Hone Bolt, and the way you do that is you cast Bestial Sling first and then follow up with Hone Bolt, and you can see that it completely skipped the beginning of that casting animation, which is a really, really nice combo. If you catch people with both of those hits, that can be a nice, maybe 800 to 1k damage depending on how squishy they are. It's very, very handy. No heals for you, bruh. As for the build itself, the bread and butter are these swords. These swords, you need these swords. They're hecking amazing. The coated swords, they do pure holy damage. That means that physical defense does not defend against these swords at all. They do damage purely based off of the holy defense slash damage negation that you can see on the right. So these hit really, really hard. Someone could be in the heaviest armor in the game and so still cut through them as if they were in like medium or light armor, which is really, really cool. You need to die. And they have A scaling and faith, so you definitely want to get your faith up as high as possible. The soft cap is 80, we're at 70, but we do get plus 10 temporarily when we drink our flask of Wondrous Physic. You can see that it's 70 right now, but if I drink this, actually wait, hold that thought because I want to show you something else with the damage. You can see the AR of the swords is 592, and again, that's pure holy damage. That's not split damage. Split damage is bad because split damage gets negated against multiple defenses. If I had half physical damage and half holy damage, the half physical damage would get negated against the physical, and the half holy would get negated against the holy. So that's like a double negation. It's not good. Because this is pure holy damage, it's only reduced by one mitigation, just the holy defense, and people don't tend to stack very high holy defense. But as you can see, baseline, the damage is 592 at my 70 faith, but when I drink this flask right here, the faith not crystal tier will boost my faith by 10 temporarily, which will add to that A scaling, and the holy shroud and crack tier will also temporarily boost the damage of my holy attacks, causing these holy swords to do even more damage, which is really, really cool. In addition to that, I do also use this charm, which raises holy attack. It unfortunately also lowers damage negation, so I become a bit squishy, but I do more holy damage as a result, which causes these swords to do remarkable DPS, because as you can see, I'm 592 with it, 528 AR without it, so it's definitely worth having. But you can see how much my AR shoots up once I drink my flask of Wondrous Physic. We go from 592 to 734, which is a massive boost. So these things hit way, way harder. You can absolutely shred someone if they get in your face and underestimate you, which is absolutely beautiful. And if someone's being a little bit too passive, if they're not really getting in your face, then you can do your magic combo, which is very, very cool as well. Well, not how I expected you to die, but okay. Now, in addition to that, I do use this helmet. You don't have to. It adds plus 2 faith, so it's a little bit efficient for statting. That's 2 levels that I can spend in other places, such as mine, so I have a little bit more focus points to cast more spells. This chest armor gives me a plus 10% boost to jumping attacks, which is very nice. This talisman gives me a plus 20% boost to jumping attacks. These two stack with each other, so I do more damage. The rest of the armor, it's just whatever you like, really. I just put on Confessors. It's a nice balance of everything. Dragon Crest Great Shield is just great for physical defense. It helps offset the loss of defense due to this talisman, and then this one just increases the damage of incantations. Both Bestial Sling and Hone Bolt are incantations. And of course, you need to have some flasks of Cerulean Tears to replenish your mana if you run low, so you can go back to casting some more spells. That magic combo. And as for the other weapons, I just like having a Sacred S-Stock. If someone's being really squirmy, yeah, I don't really need to pull this out too often because, again, you have the magic. But if they're watching for the magic a bit too much and they're being too squirmy, then, you know, you can pull this out and try to poke them or get in their face to try to finish them off. It's not as good as a heavy thrusting sword, but it's still pretty good at closing the gap. Just looking for the opening. Finally, jeez, dude. Erdtree Seal does the most damage with both of those spells. I did test them with their respective optimal talismans that scale with those specific spells, and I found that the Erdtree talisman, the Erdtree Seal, because it has the highest incant scaling, it will still do more damage than either of those talismans with either of these spells. And not only that, it's also weightless, which is really cool. So if you're trying to optimize your weight and put on as heavy gear as possible and still medium roll, you'll like the seal because it is 0 weight. And that is basically it for the build. Hope you found it helpful. Best of luck in your invasions.